Hello everyone. I just wanted to come with a quick video, and I wanted to discuss. Here recently, I went on Monique's page, Monique the comedian, Monique the actress, and I saw where the narrative for her lately has been her comments on how women, particularly women in the African American community, have been carrying themselves in public and places like the airport and different things like that. And she was pretty critical of, how they were carrying themselves, wearing bonnets and, um, almost like pajama wear and different things like that, and slippers and stuff like that. So I really didn't have much to say. I kind of, would breeze past it on social media and stuff. And today, as I signed on to Instagram real quick, I happened to see a video from Monique. Not a video, a picture posted from Monique where she posted a young lady who somebody sent her the picture, and the young lady was in the airport and she had on some really short shorts and like a bonnet, I think, or something like that. But anyway, the caption that Monique wrote basically was that that was pretty much what she was talking about when she was talking about how we should carry ourselves out in public. Um, and basically, and reading the comments, a lot of people were upset with her because they felt like she didn't have the right to post the young lady. Also, in her comment, in her caption, she mentioned that there was no judgment, that she wasn't judging the lady, that if this is in fact all the best she could do, then so be it. But she thinks if we could do better, that we should do better. Okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It's social media. Everybody has a camera phone nowadays. We know how that goes. But I just would like to say this, and this is me, a mom, a woman in the African American community. I have 4 daughters of my own. I know that, you know, how I was taught how we should carry ourselves, growing up and different things like that. And back in the day, my grandmother, she did tell us, a woman shouldn't go outside with a scarf on her head or with rollers and stuff like that. And sometimes I did see women walking around, this is back in like the 80s, walking around, with scarf on their head, just coming from the beauty shop, and they'd have the big rollers in their hair because their hair was set, and they have the, the scarf on or whatever, but it was like a silk scarf, and it would, they would look very clean and tidy and everything like that. And I understand that we're in an era where I think we need to recognize the struggle. Um, Lots of people in the comments were upset, and Monique's response was, if she doesn't say anything, then how can she affect, like basically saying that she's doing this to open the community's eyes, to open, our eyes, and to try and show us how we should carry ourselves and bring this to attention. And honestly, here is where, as children of God, we need to have discernment before we respond to certain things like this, especially in a big platform. A lot of times we look at a situation and we feel like because we hold a certain status or because we have a lot of followers that um, we have the opportunity to speak something and bring some things to people's attention. But here's where discernment comes in, because we have to understand some things we need to most things, all things, we need to pray for wisdom before we respond. We need to pray for wisdom before we put ourselves out there. Because if we don't seek God before we act in a thing, and yes, a situation like this, because you have to have discernment. You can't look at somebody and just automatically say because the way they are dressed that they have a low standard in life. The reality is, and the facts is we do not know what people are going through. We don't know what people have come from. We don't know what people's mindsets are. We don't know We don't know. Here's the next thing why the discernment is so important. We post this young lady's picture online. We open up all types of criticism, all type of foulness, all types of stuff we're bringing upon this person's life. And we don't know what state of mind they're in. And if she doesn't have a group of people who are around her to encourage her, you don't know, God forbid, this person could be suicidal. This person could be on their last whim. We don't know. Because I know I've been in situations, the lowest of the low. And if it wasn't for the grace of God protecting my mind and protecting my spirit and the fact that I know him, anybody could have said something to me on any given day, and that could have been it. We have to be so careful, and we have to use discernment. And I say this to Monique with love, because now she has opened up the door for judgment when it comes to her. She doesn't understand how this might affect her. And I'm pretty sure our sister Monique has been through some things where she needed people to not post her picture and bully her and do different things like that, but to quietly go on the side and say a prayer for her. See, a lot of times we forget where we come from because we are able to dress ourselves up, and we have a team of people, of makeup artists and this and that. And I don't know what Monique has to judge her, but what I will say is that when we're placed in a better situation, and this is why it's so important, or when we're placed in a situation where we might feel that we're doing better than somebody else, God did not bless us to take that opportunity to look down on other people. He blessed us to be a blessing. And the call of God is to minister grace to the hearer. That's what the call of God is on our life. And a lot of times we go through things so that we can be that testament, that testimony to the next person. This is a whole different generation. And life, I was born in 1980. Life for the youth, life for everybody of all different races, creeds, ages, is rough. Because there's a lot of demonic influence out there. And we are living in a high time of spiritual warfare. So it's up to us as human beings and as people who walk with God. If we say we walk with God, then we really have to evaluate ourselves. Every day I realize I have to evaluate my short temper. I have to evaluate my patience. I have to evaluate the way I respond to people. I have to, because that's just me having a God consciousness and realizing there's more required of me as a child of God, an ambassador for Christ. And I think that's what people forget. That when we want to do better for our community, we have to learn how to handle our community. And we have to learn how to be that example with love. Because the Bible even says love covers a multitude of sins. And so I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to, share my point of view on that and just say, we got to think before we pull out these phones and just social media in a whole. We have to understand that it can be a blessing and a curse. And any of you that have iPhone, just want to mention this because this is very subtle and I see this a lot, especially when I turn on my phone. But any of you who have this iPhone, you see this apple? You see this apple in the back? I want you to think. What do you think about when you see this apple on the back of this phone? Leave me your thoughts in the comment section about what the Holy Spirit is saying to you about the apple on the back of this phone. The bitten apple. But with that said, I just wanted to share that. I pray you all are having a blessed Sunday. I did do a video yesterday about what is going on in the workforce with unemployment and people not going back to work, and a lot of these jobs having shortages and stuff. My video did cut off, but I am going to post part one. I'm going to wait for the Holy Spirit to download part two into my spirit, and then I will post it then. With that said, you guys have a wonderfully best day.